Hello there. It's Saturday morning, 4th of July. Right now it's 9:44. I was up a little after 7 to something with Jordan Peterson. Now I'm listening to it's Alex Hormozy and Chris Williamson, just on the Modern Wisdom podcast. But I wanted to make a video for today, but I know why. I'll kind of go through these little droughts on YouTube, and I was about to go into one right now because I had videos that I was filming for Project Put a Rice Together episode. I think it was for 5. I still have the clips, but then I filmed whatever the most recent YouTube video I posted. I filmed that one. There was the rice one, but then the one before that. So then I put those other ones to the side. So then I'm like, I don't know where I left off, and then I just didn't pick up the camera. So then I was like, well, just pick up the camera. So then whether I make those a video or I just scrap them, but this will be the video now. So now I'm thinking out loud, but not calling myself out, but just being like, just pick up the camera and start doing it to avoid that gap in YouTube videos. But like I said, we have a break, so 2 hours on the bike, and then it's just a 20-minute runoff. The bike should be pretty tough though, so some sweet spot work. I was just looking at it a little bit ago. Like, obviously you like to look at the workout first, right? But I like to look at it specifically, honestly, any of the workouts, just so I can mentally be like preparing myself for something if it's going to be hard. This will be a good one. It won't be hard till the end because there's sweet spot work, but which is like right under your FTP. FTP is what you can hold for an hour, and the sweet spot sets are 12 minutes. There's 2 of them, so it's not like the end of the world, but they'll be tough for sure. Sweet spot. So it's a 30-minute warm-up, which is solid, or just that. And then 4 times pickups, repeat pickups 4 times. This is 30 seconds. Those are always like a good thing to wake the legs up generally. So 30 seconds at 270, and then repeat 5 times big gear. So it'll be a minute 30. So repeat this set 5 times. So a minute 30 big gear, 285 with 60 to 65 RPM. So those are those slow burners. And then a minute 30 at 270 in aero. But this will all be in aero. But even though the big gear one says to sit up, but I'll still do it in aero. So a minute 30 at 270 with race pace RPM, so 80 to 90, and then a minute 30 recovery, and then repeat that 5 times, if that made any sense. And then the sweet spot work, so 2 sets of 12 minutes at 270 watts with a 6-minute recovery in between, and then we cool down. So 2 hours. Shouldn't get hard till the end, the sweet spot ones, but it'll be hard, but I can do it. So we'll be able to get it done, and then just a 20-minute runoff. It's just nice to have some shorter workouts for right now. Kind of more threshold speed focused with the Olympic or international distance triathlon, and then the half marathon a week ago. It's been nice to not have these massive Ironman workouts where it's just so much volume time wise. So then obviously it takes up a decent little chunk of the day, but it's not as, I mean, when you get into the 5.5 hour bike rides and then however long runoff, like that's just basically your whole day, which is fine, but it's nice to have a break from that from time to time. So it's a lot, like when I hear 2 hours, I'm like, that's not much. So I like that, but I'm gonna gear up. So got the bike. That blue bike is actually, am I talking too much? I think I'm talking too much, but I got the Garmin computer charging. The blue bike, that road bike, I bought that training for my first marathon. And it's essentially why I'm doing Ironmans. So, God, all right, I didn't open the bike, or didn't open the camera before I went out on the bike, but I just got back from the bike. So I started that bike, it was 2 hours at 10:30, so I should have been done at 12:30. But no! It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Got a freaking flat tire. And best case scenario, I got a flat tire on the front. I was coming around a turn. I didn't fall. I kept it on 2 wheels. I saved it. All that good stuff. It was raining. I never fell. Anything like that. But I was all the way on the far corner end of Davis Island when I got the flat. and the only bike shop that was open, which there's not even any close to Davis Island, which, side note, why is there not a bike shop on Davis Island? It's a whole, everyone's like DI loops, DI loops. People are biking around there all the time. There should be a little bike shop on Davis Island. That's $1 million idea for somebody. Not $1 million, but that's a good idea for someone to take. But nonetheless, so I had to walk all the way from that tip of Davis Island to past where I live, all the way to, if you know where Outspoken Bicycles is in South Tampa. That took for frickin' ever. That fixed. So there's a new tire on the front, which, good to go. Finished the ride. Now it's 3 o'clock. And luckily, it's just a 20-minute runoff, 20-minute little easy run. I could probably skip it if I really wanted to, but obviously I'm not going to do that. But a little 20-minute ride. I'm just annoyed because it's so late in the day now. Now I was like, oh, I'm going to get done early. I'll still have time to get other stuff done. Still need to get stuff done, but I was like, I'll have time to, you know, it'll be nice. No! Can't seem to finish these fucking things at like a reasonable time. Let's go run for 20 minutes. I'm drained. I did not expect to be in the sun for this fucking long. So I'm pretty zooted. But 2 sets of 12 minutes, sweet spot. The first one we averaged 280 something. Second one we averaged 294 watts for the 12, so that was pretty good. Pretty happy about that. Given all the circumstances, coming off being sick, walking for over an hour to get the flat fix and hopping back on the bike, low on carbs, all that good stuff. So I call that pretty solid. So let's get this shit done and over with so I can be done with this. Holy cow, bud, what a day. It wasn't even supposed to be a day, but what a day. In my head, if that went to plan, as in just not getting a flat tire, that would have been like a half a day. Would have been like, all right, that was a solid day. Wasn't overwhelming, wasn't crazy, but like solid day. But with the flat tire, just such a large chunk of time, you're like, fuck, what a day. Now that it's finally done. I got beef with riding indoors. Not that it's bad, it's good, but I'm just over it. I'm over it. It delivered me empty promises, even though I set up. The reason the indoor training didn't go well for me going to Jacksonville was my fault. But nonetheless, still fuck it. So happy we got that done outdoors. I wanted to get a new tire on the front of this bike anyways, because the one that was on there was, I mean, you could visibly look at it and tell that was old. So it's something I was needing to do anyways. This wasn't the situation in which I wanted to do it, but hey, we got it done anyways. So the next move though, so that international distance triathlon is next weekend. So I need to get, there's the 11-speed cassette or drivetrain, whatever, gears on the back of that wheel. I need to get them put onto that wheel. Or I just buy a separate one to have for that wheel. That way, every time I want to swap over, I don't have to go to the bike shop to have them do that. I don't know how much those little gear sets cost, but I don't know. It's probably like $1 million. But it's probably not that much, but in reference, in ratios of all for a bike, it probably is expensive. But having a car background, I'm always like, oh, it's not that bad, even though it's probably like $200, which that honestly is pretty expensive for some gears, for some pieces of metal. But yeah, that tire was $135 for the tire tube and to have it installed. When I was biking over there, I was like, oh, it'll probably not be that bad. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, it's probably gonna be over $100. And it was $135. But then I was thinking about it. They said the labor fee was $25, and I was like, dang, that blows. But then, like, that's a skill that I don't have. Could I change the tire? Yeah, but I just have such a hard time with it that I'd rather pay the $25. But in my head, I'm like, that's the power that they have. They can technically charge whatever the fuck they want, because at the end of the day, I can't really do it, so I'm gonna have to pay it regardless. So they could charge $50 to change the tube, but I still am a sucker and have to pay for it because I can't do it myself. I say can't lightly because I could, and I need to figure out the method of how, but especially for the next time, because the next time I get a flat tire, I would like to be able to just do it right in the spot I get it. Be a lot quicker of a turnaround. So yeah, but you need to get the cassette swapped on that disc wheel as well as that tire and tube that's on there. It's the really old one. It's the same tire that was on the front of this bike and on the rear of this bike. I don't remember why I got the rear tire switched. Oh, I put a tire on that one because it didn't come with a tire. That was why. I was like, why did I only do that one and not these two? The bike came with the disc wheel on the bike. The spare, that just came as extra without the gears and without a tire on it. I put the tire on it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But now I'm blabbering. But 46 miles on the bike, just under 3 miles on the feet. Yeah, I'm happy that's over with. I'm not gonna lie. I made a smoothie really quick. One of the things I'm trying to do is getting calories a lot closer to when I'm finishing these bigger workouts. Not because I think it's like a huge, I'm gonna get that much stronger or something, but because I just need to, period, end of the day, get in more calories. So something I'm doing is like this, and then I'll shower, and then I'll eat, as opposed to doing it all at once, and then it's like, then I'm really full, and I feel like I'm more full for longer, whereas if I do this now, kind of work on digesting it, spread it out a little bit as much as I can, which is another reason why it's annoying, because now it's 4 o'clock. But, so I got the smoothie, so it's walnuts, bananas, a berry mix, whole milk, salt, honey. Did I say a banana? Walnuts, salt, honey, whole milk, berry mix. I think I said everything. Honestly, I don't know. The roundabout, like... Oh, no. Oh! Off-track George Russell? Oh! Oh, your live reaction. This is an F1 channel now. That's a live reaction when I finish this clip. But I generally have like a good sense of what a racing line is, and I'm confident with that, and I'm confident with handling on the bike. So I'm coming into that turn, and I take a good bit of speed, and then all of a sudden the front wheel starts like sliding out, and I was like, oh shit. The ground was still a little bit wet, so I was like, oh, it must just be because it's wet. But then I was kind of like, oh shit, sliding out, but I was able to save it. And then like I kind of come out of the turn, and then I was like, oh shit, I think my tire's flat, and it was. So that was kind of sick. Just stayed relaxed, kind of turned into it a little bit, but then you catch grip again so you can turn back in. And then I was like, oh shit, my tire's flat. And I was like, oh, that blows. But I was more so just happy I didn't fall, because that could have, honestly, that could have been a bad fall, because in the roundabout, there's curbs. So like say I'm coming through there, and where I started to slip, say I just like fell, whether I fell in or out, whatever, there's curbs, so I could have smacked a curb, whatever. Could have been pretty bad. It wouldn't be like, I don't know, I'm not gonna sit here and assess it. I'm just glad I didn't fall. I am scoping out tracks. I didn't really have a plan of how to start this video, or to start this clip. But, so, since I went to the UT track the last time, and the track coach kicked my ass out of there, because I want to just call him an asshole, but I'm not supposed to be there, so whatever. But I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I can go. There's a lot of tracks in Tampa. Like when you look at your maps, you can just see there's a bunch, but they're all fucking not public. This was the one, like this park that I'm at. I think it's, I don't even know the name of this park. It's a little park. But everything's got fucking gates on it. I don't know. It didn't say like, it just said public. It's a public park. There's fences around everything. It says it's open until sunset, or sun up, sundown. I have 20 by 400s, 2400s tomorrow. I'm gonna need to do it at the track. I want to do it at a track. Here's a track. It says no trespassing, but it's also a park. Like, it said it was open to the public. I'm no stranger to trespassing, and I'm not against doing it, but it's so annoying getting yelled at and kicked out of places. What's wrong? Why is everyone gatekeeping fucking tracks? It's just a big old fucking circle. What's the big deal if you just let it open to the public? A bunch of people want to be fit and healthy. I don't see the issue. My thought when driving to the track today, there's another one I want to look at that's closer to where I'm at, was I was like, in keeping with this theme, if you've ever watched Andrew Huberman podcast, he's like, and in keeping with that theme, I've been thinking about with the flat tire how I wasted a bunch of time. Same thing, so I'm just going to go waste a bunch of time trying to find a track I can go to, or apparently sneak into or something. So I was like, in keeping with today's theme and wasting time, let me go waste more time looking at tracks. I'm pretty tired. It's probably why I'm kind of frustrated right now. But my car looks good from here. She's a good 50-footer right now. She's a little dirty. She needs some loving. She needs some Liam loving for sure. We're at track numero dos. This one, another big fence. Look at this. The gate. The gate is open. Is it open just today? Or is it always open? I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you. But it's open. So there is a lock, as you can see. Who unlocked it? Why is it unlocked? Is it just unlocked for the weekend? Did they do that? Not sure, but look at this. I'm on the track. I wouldn't call that trespassing. The gate was open. So this is where I'm gonna come tomorrow. Kind of shitty, but hey, who gives a crap? Who gives a crap? It's a track. It's a circle. It's 400 meters. That's all that I need. Balance, checked it out. Water's warm, but it was water and it was clear, so that's cool. Still would just try to plant it with water. But all right, this is where we're gonna go for tomorrow. The Daily Doodle. I'll talk about the Daily Doodle. The Daily Doodle for today was I'm willing to sacrifice this one thing, not forever, but for now. This one thing means, in my head, it means many different things, but I feel like that's just a good frame for if you're trying to chase anything and be really good at something. I feel like you really have to focus on that one thing. And when you focus on that one thing, that just requires to make a lot of sacrifice. So whether that sacrifice is daily little things like, you talk about people when they're in like the training hole, like they stop shaving, their hair gets all wild, like a little sacrifice like that of just looks, cosmetics. Or it's like putting other things off, other life items off. One of the things I think about for me a lot is like sacrificing your ego a little bit, because I'm 26 years old and I'm like, I think the thing I struggle with the most with everything that I'm doing is I'm 26 years old and I'm working a serving job, and it doesn't from the outside feel like or look like you're really making any progress in life. And even today, like right now, what I'm kind of like feeling that. I'm like, I just feel like a loser. And I think that's the sacrifice I work with, or one of the bigger sacrifices of like that ego. When in reality, I know what I'm chasing. I'm chasing the quote unquote, the dream, right? To be hopefully work with some companies in terms of my athletics to where I can make money through that, continue chasing the Ironman stuff. Which actually, speaking of, I have if you guys know what the feed is, so I have a little, like, not interview, but just like a little call with them on Monday, which I'm sure they've done that with a bunch of different influencer type people. Whether I'm sure they'll just be like, hey, here's this code, and yeah, it'll probably be something along the lines of that. Maybe I can make some videos or something for them. That would be cool. But that's an exciting little step, because the feed's a big name, big brand. But to put the big goals that I'm chasing, so make money through doing the athletic endeavors, chasing the races. So right now it's the Ironman and making it to Kona, which I haven't really said that, but on social media, I guess in terms of Instagram, after this triathlon next weekend, so this is like Project Put a Race Together, and then once I complete that race and I kick the shit out of that race, Project Put a Race Together is complete. Confidence built going into Ironman Florida, which then that series is going to be Project, I don't know what I'm not going to say Project Kona, but it's going to be, let's qualify for fucking Kona. That's the goal. Talked to Parker about it. He knows my mindset. Told him I'm ready to work, baby. So he knows that, and I trust him, and his workouts will get me there. Even if in the past my results have been very lackluster with the marathon in Jacksonville, it's not his training. The marathon was just, body did not show up those 2 days. And then Jacksonville was, my indoor training setup was wrong. I was doing that wrong. And then just stomach issues and that stuff. But I trust that it'll get me there, or that he'll get me there fitness-wise. And I know fitness-wise, I have improved a shit ton. So I have full confidence, especially now doing the outdoor rides. And I think one of the things I had to understand was just because you have a coach, just like a coach in general, and obviously it depends on your coach relationship and like how that goes. But for me, it's like just because I have a coach doesn't mean I have to not try in a way. So yes, he's telling me what to do, and yes, he's kind of making certain calls for certain things, but I still have to make the executive decision on certain things, such as taking a rest day or not taking a rest day, pushing harder or not, or doing indoor rides or doing outdoor rides, or certain adaptations where I'm trying to think of. I think one of the ones is like a lot of my runoffs were always really easy runoffs, and I would take them really easy. Like heart rate wise would be in the 130s. Like that's kind of what I would always aim for, and still kind of do, but that's not something I ever used to do in the past. And obviously it's good to build up that zone 2, that aerobic base, especially with the Ironman stuff, it's important. But still push those a little bit, or at least get into that upper aerobic zone, because that's something I never really did. And then just getting comfortable pushing those. I'm kind of thinking, honestly, with all swim, bike, run, just pushing those speeds, that power, that distance, getting comfortable in that a little bit. So that's something like today's runoff was only 20 minutes, but I did, like I started out at a high 8-minute pace and built down to where I was running a low 6-minute pace by the end of it. Obviously it was only 20 minutes and my average was like 7:20. But yeah, just something like that, whereas in the past I would have just stuck in 130 heart rate the whole time and made it really, really easy. There's a pool. Go get some yards in. But yeah, just like little things like that. So I think that's something I've learned. And then so the initial thing was the goals. Oh yeah, so chasing money through the athletic stuff, building the Dailydoodle, creating purpose for that. So the shirts, come Ironman Florida, I want to make long sleeves, but it'll be a good time because it's fall, and then it'll be around Ironman Florida. So naturally there's always more eyes on my page as a race comes closer. So it would be a good time to drop those shirts around that time, because there'd be a lot more people watching. And everything in the past has pointed to that being true. And then, yeah, just continue building the socials. Those are honestly the two main things. Building the Dailydoodle. Oh, well, I guess short-term shirts, long-term make it into a book. But I would like to accrue a much bigger following before I do that. And yeah, just keep chasing that. And then after Ironman Kona, like once I can make it to Kona, finish the race, either it would be, I'm kind of done with Ironman stuff, I'm kind of done with triathlon, and then I just want to focus, whenever I'm done with triathlon, the goal or the focus will be to just focus on running, because especially after doing that half marathon, I had a lot of fun with that. So I would just try to be, essentially just get really good at the half marathon and specifically the marathon, and then just really try to crank out some really fast marathon times, like as fast as I'm capable of. But that's much more long term. And then, yeah, and then whatever else comes from it. Obviously working with different brands and companies, like there would be a lot more opportunities that could arise, whether that's stuff you work with other people to build something, whatever. So I would always be open to stuff like that. But I guess the two main specific goals is become a sponsored athlete and then build the Dailydoodle into something meaningful. Not that it's not meaningful now, but into something that's more tangible than just an Instagram post. So the shirts into a book long term. If anyone knows Shel Silverstone, I feel like that's who I really get a lot of the style of the Dailydoodle from. I don't really have his specific like drawing style, which I really like, but that's where I draw that from. But yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know. But yeah, I guess I was just thinking about how I was talking about with having a coach, like there's certain things I still have to kind of take executive decision over or whatever. So an example tomorrow, so I have 20 by 400. The structure of the workout is 4 at a 10K pace, 1 at a 5K pace, repeat that 5 times, or repeat that 5 400 set 4 times. But I'm just thinking now, like, what I'm gonna do is I'll do that structure for the, wait, I'm trying to drive somewhere. I'll do that structure for probably the first 2 sets, and if I still feel good, I'll probably up the pace for the next 2 sets for the 10Ks. Maybe make the 10Ks the 5Ks. Just kind of get that extra little bit, as long as I feel as though I can handle it. Because obviously my coach isn't there in person with me saying like, you're looking good, you're doing good, let's pick up this pace. That's something that I have to make the call for. So like shit like that, that's what I'm trying to say. So hopefully that makes more sense. All right, so I'm currently looking at the times for the International Distance Triathlon for Fort DeSoto. That's the one I'm doing next weekend. They do like a 3 race series. So the first one was in May, it was May 31st. That won it. So I'm looking at his times. So the swim is a half mile, the bike is 20 miles, the run is 6.2 miles, the 10K. So for his swim, he swam 11 minutes and 42 seconds, which is about 119 per 100 yards swimming. So he definitely has me beat there, 100%. Excuse me. The dude in second did an 11:49, swam in 11:49. The guy in third, 13:58. 13:58 was like 135 or something per 100. Which I could totally do that because I don't remember what my Ironman swim was. But even for Ironman, I guess they're both Ironman Florida, but the one in Panama City, my average pace for the first lap was like a 130 something, like a high 130. So I could definitely go. The guy that won it, I'm not going to go out there and swim 120 per 100. I don't think. It's only a half mile. So like I think I could do that, but also at what cost? Like would that be too much for me to do that? Probably. Let's say I could go out there and swim a 120 something for a half mile, like probably a mid to a high 120 something is what my thought would be. It also depends on the water. I have no idea what the water was like on that day. It could have been really smooth, could have been really choppy. Maybe it'll be really smooth for mine, or it could be really choppy for mine. It doesn't matter though, because everyone has the same water on the day of the race. So there is that. And then his bike was 46 minutes and 30 seconds, that's for 20 miles. And this is all based on what ChatGPT tells me, but it's about 25 miles an hour to do that. And then watts wise, it said anywhere from 250 to 320. 320, could I do it? Yeah, I feel like I could. But again, at what cost? Because they still have to run 6 fast miles. So 250, yeah, because the race plan is to kind of push right around 270 to 280. So on a good day, not a lot of wind, we might be cooking. But it is on, if you know Fort DeSoto, if you're a Tampa person, it's like this island. So there's kind of undoubtedly, there's going to be some wind. There's going to be a headwind in one of the directions. I did this last year. It was the sprint one though. They canceled the swim. It was a headwind going one way, not the other way. It was also raining and stuff, so the bike was a little bit sketchier just because of that, but I did have the fastest bike split at that race. There, totally could give the guys a run for his money, or beat him, depending on the day, depending on who knows what the day was for them too, obviously. Dude in second, 47:17. I didn't look that one up, but I think I could still fall right in that first, second range. 10K, the guy that won it, 37:17, which was a 6:05 per mile, which for me, Garmin says my 10K pace would be 6:10 per mile. Now, obviously, you're coming off the bike and a swim, so it's probably not going to be that fast. I'm going to try to make it that fast, though. I did the workout, I don't know, a few days ago, where I did 3 by 5 minutes at a 10K pace. And those were all 6:03, 6:04, 6:02. Was it hard? Yeah, it was hard as shit. Oh, the last set was hard. But do I think I could have done that for more miles? There's a family that lives across from me, so they're having a 4th of July party, and there's people outside, and they're probably watching me filming this right now. I think they are, because they're literally staring right in my windows, but whatever. But I'm gonna pretend like I don't see them. But I don't know. I don't know if I can do 6:05 per mile. I don't know if I can run a 37:17. But the dude in second ran a 42:35. So honestly, I mean, the other thing though is like if the guy's there, the person's there in front of you, it's a different level of motivation. Because I want to win. I want to win. I don't really care about my time. I want to win. Why does it say 1 hour? Happy 4th! Yeah, they saw me the whole time. Someone just came up and said Happy 4th of July. Awesome! 41:18 was what the guy in second ran, and it's a 6:38 per mile. That I think I can definitely do. So I think I can guarantee a second. Maybe not guaranteeing second, I can guarantee a podium for sure. But, yeah. These people came up to my window. They came up to my window. But happy 4th of July, and I'll see you at the track tomorrow, 20 by 400. Pissed? Y'all don't even see through the mix. How the fuck can I be white? I don't even exist. Eminem, role model. That's that song. But we're back at that track that we were yesterday, and we're about to crank out 20 by 400. Okay, this morning, first of all, the camera battery is low. I didn't think it was, but it is. But I low-key thought I was gonna skip this workout this morning just based off of how I felt. But I was like, hey, we don't wanna make any rash decisions here. So I just took my morning slow, and I feel good enough to knock it out. So we're gonna do exactly that, knock it out. So we got a 15-minute warm-up, 20 by 400 broken up into 4 sets of 5, or no, 4 sets of 5, 400. So 4 at a 10K pace, 1 at a 5K pace. And then to complete it, and then just duration cool down. So like basically however long I want to make it. I probably won't make it very long just based off of how I feel. But plan will be to, if I feel good, up the paces for the 10Ks on the latter half of the sets. So the last 2 sets. If I don't feel good, then I'll just keep it where it's at. Chances are it'll probably stay where it's at. So 5K pace, we're gonna aim for a 5:44 pace, and then for the 10K pace, 6:08. So those will be the paces we're targeting. So let's start warming up and get this thing going. Shouldn't take too long, which is good. Do exactly what the song says. Smoke weed, take pills, drop out of school, jump behind the wheel, or drink whatever, jump behind the wheel like it was still legal. Don't do any of that. I'm quoting the song again, but pulling out. So I brought, for my shoes, so I brought the Adidas Carbon Bubble shoes. Those are what I'm planning to use, but they're also why there's blood all over the shoe. They're why I have blisters on my heels. I also got blisters, I already talked about it, from walking in my bike shoes. But so if these are giving me too much trouble, I'm just gonna put on the On Cloud shoes, which I might end up just using these during the triathlon next weekend, because these don't have laces. You just slip them on. So I might try to get like the stretchy laces for these and put them on the Adidas shoes, because when you're tying laces, especially in a shorter race, when you have to sit there and tie your shoes, it's kind of a lot of time to waste when the race is a lot shorter in my head. So I might end up just wearing the On Clouds regardless, but yeah, that's kind of my thought process there. All right, baby, we're done. There's literally negative shade out here. The whole time you're just cooking in the sun. It's pretty brutal, but I'm happy with it. We got it done. I don't think there's a single 400 that was slower than like a 550 something, like a mid 550. Everything was under 6 minutes. Now, was that the plan? No, it actually wasn't at all. I feel like I could not find a rhythm, and I think that's for a few reasons. 1, I was trying to film a reel, so that always throws me off. 2, coming off being sick still, so like I feel like I have that brain fog where it makes it hard to concentrate. And 3, I was feeling confident in myself, and to be honest, I kept thinking like, I want to keep it all under 6 minutes, even though that wasn't the plan. But starting out, the track is always hard because I don't run on the track very often. At most, it's like once a week. So when you're used to running on the street, like a 7-minute pace feels fast. An 8-minute pace even feels kind of fast. So then when you come onto a track, everything feels slow. So like I'm holding a low 5-minute. At some points it was like high 4 minutes. And I was like, yep, you back it up. But it feels slow. It doesn't feel fast. Now I can tell when I'm running, I'm like, this effort, like the way I'm pushing in my feet feels faster than a 7-8 minute mile. I know that, but it just visibly feels slow. So that always throws me off. And then I'm like, is my watch wrong? But I'm like, no, it's not. You're just having a little bit of a mind fuck. So I'll attribute it to all those reasons as to why I wasn't necessarily controlled, but it didn't blow up. Like I literally just finished like a couple minutes ago. I could definitely do more. So that was a broken up 10K, and I guess I don't really know what the exact paces were because there's the 200 jog in between, but felt good. It's fucking hot. But it's cool because there's basketball courts right there. So there's a kid, like younger, grinding on his own. Then there's like a dad with 2 kids grinding on their own. I'm out here grinding on my own. That's how you get better, baby. Can't do it. If you did it when everyone was around, you'd never, oh no, I'm spilling water. If you did it when everyone was around, you wouldn't be as good. It's just not feasible in normal life to do something with someone every single time. So if you can't do the shit alone, you're never gonna be great. I don't think, at least. I don't know, that's not totally true, but at least for someone in my position, and probably the general population, like the general average population, if you're trying to get really good at something, chances are you're not surrounded by people that are doing the same thing or have the same mindset as you, which if you are, that's amazing, and I'm jealous of you. But that's just the name of the game. Always getting better. Thinking about this on the way here, like sacrificing, I was talking about it yesterday, but literally sacrificing a lot of little things to just make the one goal as simple as possible. Like I just want to chase performance. I just want to get really fucking good. So sacrificing all the little things around that to literally just be able to focus on that one thing. And that's useful. Because I was also thinking about like, how do people get popular on social media? A lot of people, it's like, you do these very flamboyant, boisterous things, these very out there things like, I'm gonna run across the United States. Not that there's anything wrong with that, like that's awesome. That's an amazing feat. But I don't really care for that. Or it's like, I'm gonna run I'm gonna run 5 miles and every 10 seconds I'm gonna chug a beer. Like shit like that. Like those are things that get easy views, but I wanna get known based on my performance. So in my head, you have to earn that. Like you don't just get good overnight. It's like in the gym, I always wanted to be jacked, but it took me 10 years. I've been in the gym now for over 10 years to get to where I am now. Same thing with endurance, it just takes time. So yeah, I'm happy with that workout. We got to cool down and then we're done. They are not bad. Their behavior is just bad. That's the daily doodle for tomorrow. I was thinking about that when I was at the track. There's a dad with 2 kids, and the dad was kind of yelling at the one kid for a second, and I was like in the middle of a 400, and I was like, the kid is not a bad kid. It's just his behavior is bad. How can we change this behavior? That's what I was thinking in my head as I was running that 400. But daily doodle for tomorrow. But happy with how that track workout went. Kicked shit, rocked that bitch, and I feel fine. So in a sense, like I overdid it in terms of I went faster than I kind of should have, but I think it was all fine. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to get this YouTube video out today. It's 4:20, so I'm gonna try to get this out today. I'm gonna do the daily doodle. I'm gonna reply to Parker, and I'm gonna edit and post this YouTube video, which these YouTube videos don't take me long to edit, and then try to go to the grocery store, and then come home. I still have a 45-minute like easy recovery spin on the bike that I need to do, so it's a matter of when do I do that, but it's already 4. Maybe I end up doing it indoor, but I don't want to push it super late, and I'm not doing it right now. Might end up just not doing it, but I don't want to not do it, so we'll see what happens. And then there's a little quick reel I want to post for today, just about like from just this track where we're gonna have a couple clips that I want to make a quick one today of it just being like the best part about endurance training, or the best part about training is, and then have it flash, like as I run past, flash, I'm going the other way. It's you versus you, or it's no one else can show up for you. Something along those lines, but maybe just you versus you or something. There would be no sound, it'll just be like me running on the track. You should be able to, I haven't watched the videos back, but you should be able to just hear my footsteps, and I think that'll make a good video. We'll see though, I have to look and sit down and do it. But grocery store, eat, and stuff like that. I would like to go, honestly, I'd rather make time to run to the gym really quick, get a little pump and stretch, as opposed to get on the bike. That's what I'd rather do if I'm being honest. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna do those things. But this is the end of the YouTube video. So project put a race together. This might be episode 5. I think technically this is 6, but I didn't post episode 5 because I haven't even looked at those clips. Like I explained, I might have explained it in this video, I might not have, I'm not sure. But I think this is project 5. But it'll be coming to an end next weekend after the triathlon. Hopefully we get a podium, and then building into Ironman Florida, shooting for Kona, baby. Let's go. But if you watched this far, I love you, you're awesome. Dailydoodle shirt, I have 12 left. Larges and mediums in black and white, or just, yeah, black and white. Cop a shirt. If you do, I love you. It's awesome. I've got them. Let's get rid of them. But yeah, a good little weekend of training. It's been nice having these shorter but harder focused workouts, kind of thresholdy workouts, as opposed to the long format endurance Ironman focused workouts. So that's a good little shift, and it makes me excited for like when I do kind of, in my head, I think eventually I'll be done with the Ironman stuff and just focus on marathon, half marathon stuff. I might have already talked about that. Or maybe what I do is after the Ironman stuff, I focus on, I said I would never really focus on Olympic stuff, but I like that it's shorter distance and harder. Or maybe I'd focus on 70.3s or something, I don't know. But the shorter stuff is more fun because, or maybe it's not more fun, but right now it feels more fun because it's less time and you're pushing hard, and I like that, as opposed to like being out for really long and not pushing super hard. You're pushing hard just slowly, longly. But that's kind of where my head's at. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the video here. You're awesome. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, buy a Dailydoodle shirt, and keep being awesome, baby. Quick clip. That's the Dailydoodle. They're not inherently bad, it's just their behavior that's bad. And then the drawing is just a little heart, and you see it, but it's just a little heart with a jagged little aggressive outside of like, yeah, the outside's bad, but the inside, on the inside, there's a good, kind, loving person in there. That's all that means. That's all that means, and I believe that to be true for all of us. Even you. All right, have a great day, get better today. Thanks for watching if you watched this far.